G'day, Dan. How you going?
Good, thanks, Pato. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Um, Thanks for coming on and congratulations on such a good run at Biggs.
Oh, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate the invite to come back on the podcast. It's always good. And yeah, so stoked, like just over the moon with how everything went at Big. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear all about it. But before we talk about Biggs, let's just touch on the Sat Champs a little bit because um, that run was awesome, and you definitely took things to another level on the Richter scale at that Sat Champs, didn't you?
Mm. Yeah, I felt like I really um, just pushed as far, like the furthest that I'd ever gone before, which obviously I hadn't got a PB, but I just really hit a new level for pushing past the low moments. And I just felt like I really unlocked that thing of just riding out the rough patches and then getting through and being able to push even further. So it was just a really good experience for me overall, that I was able to, I guess, yeah, take that experience into bigs. And when I was feeling rough early as well, I could then use the sat champs as a bit of a like my own story to go back to and think about.
Because I mean, you do hear a lot about people who have done well in backyards, and they say when you get a low, when you break through a low moment, like it's the best feeling, and things actually do feel better. So you
Mm.
experienced that for yourself for the first time at the Sat Champs, did you?
Yeah, I really did. I think like before that, my PB was 51 at Hurdy's, and that race really just got harder and harder, lap after lap. Whereas Sat Champs, it really did come and go a lot more.
Mm.
So yeah, that really just it just backyards are just so weird because they're not like a marathon. A marathon sort of just gets harder and harder and harder, but backyards they can just be really hard early on. 10 hours in, your legs are hurting, and you know that you're not at any decent number yet. So they can just be really tricky early. And listen to the podcast with Phil, and he said that the first 48 hours was just so super hard, but then when he got to the third day, sort of just things started to click. So yeah, it's a very unusual format.
Yeah. So your motto, or your, I guess you could say your nickname is from 5K to multi-day. So so you have experienced a lot of different type of feelings in a lot of different types of races, haven't you?
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. Like sometimes I'll tell someone, they'll ask me, what race am I training for? And I'll say, oh, I'm doing a 10K. And they'll laugh at me and they'll go, oh, that's easy for you. You'd
Yeah.
be able to complete that easy. And it's like, nah, man, like everything's hard. It's just a different kind of hard. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm in a backyard and I'm hurting, I'm thinking, man, I wish I was in a 5K right now. But when I'm in a 5K, it's like, oh man, I wish I was in a backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're all hard for different reasons, and I just like challenging myself for
Yeah.
whatever it is I'm doing. So yeah.
Awesome. So that you ran 75 yards at Sat Champs, and that's what qualified you to run at Bigs. But what ended the race for you at the Sat Champs?
I just had enough,
Yeah. Okay.
to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I'd mentally prepared myself for pushing through when things are low and that kind of thing, but I hadn't really prepared myself for what about when I've exceeded expectations? Like, how do you actually push yourself when you're really happy with what you've already done?
Mm.
Which is kind of like a very different endpoint. So I really wasn't prepared for that. I remember going out on lap 76 and thinking, man, I've done so much better than I was expecting. I thought I was done at, 37 or whatever it was. I've hit 75. That's 500K. I'm happy with that. So that's kind of really what ended it for me, was just being really happy with what I'd already achieved.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. And when you were on the podcast last, which was just before the Sat Champs, I mean, it sounded like Bigs wasn't really on your radar back then. So when did you start thinking that maybe you do want to go after all?
Yeah, I knew that you'd bring this up. When you asked me, and I said no way.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, it wasn't on my radar at all until I realized that I could actually go.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend message me and say, "Oh, you're actually going to be on the list." Um, so it's easy to say no when it's not an option,
Mm.
but then when it's actually handed to you, and you know, I can go there and I can meet lads and I can be there with all the top guys and I can be there at the pinnacle event really of backyards. I couldn't say no. So yeah, I found out about 2 months before Bigs,
Yeah.
and then yeah, said yes and locked in from there. So I had just enough time to train. I had 6 good weeks of training and then a bit of a taper. So it was just enough time. If I'd had a few weeks less, it would have been really tough.
Yeah.
So just enough time to really train and get ready for it.
Sure. And what about passports and visas and everything like that? Did you have to go through all that process, or were you ready to go?
So I had a passport already all sorted, and then to be honest, mum and dad did everything.
Right.
They sorted out all the visa stuff and
Oh, cool.
all the trips. I did not plan a thing, so I
Perfect.
definitely couldn't have done it without them. Not only dad, obviously crewing for me, but also just the logistics of hiring a car, all the hotel stuff,
Mm.
flights, everything. They just handled all that for me, and I could just focus on the training.
Yeah, perfect. Now,
Mm.
before that, you found out that you were going to run at Bigs. Like, where did Backyard Ultras sit in your plan over the next 12 months? Like, before you actually realized that you were going to run at Bigs?
Oh, I didn't have any backyard ultras planned. I actually was going to do a half marathon on the week after Bigs, so I had a few other sort of shorter races planned.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just holding on to you know hopefully still be in the Sat Champs team. That's the only thing I had planned. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what did your like training weeks look like in the few months before you found out you were going to Bigs?
I was just doing like 70 to 80 Ks a week, heaps of speed,
Hmm.
training in there, medium sort of long run on the weekend, like 20-ish Ks. Um, and just, yeah, I was just going to race like a few 5K, 10K sort of things in a half marathon. So, yeah, not a ton of volume, but I work a physical job as well. So I feel like that's a pretty good stimulus just for, handling fatigue and landscaping all day, then going for a run. So I feel like I'm always kind of ready to suddenly switch focus and have to train for a backyard.
Yeah, cool. And so how did you change your training once you found out that you were going to go to Bigs?
I doubled my volume like the very next week,
Yeah.
which, normally that would not be recommended, but um, I guess like lifetime mileage, you have to look at a little bit. The fact that I've done that kind of mileage before, I think is helpful. So yeah, it was 6 weeks of about 150K average a week. So
Yeah.
just getting a lot of volume in. The good thing about backyards is you can do a lot of walking, and that's race pace. So yeah, just focusing more on time on feet and getting out for double runs and things like that.
Yeah, cool. So when you do go on your long runs, when you're training for a backyard, like you do incorporate a bit of walking in your runs as well, do you?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days I'll have just like a run with no walking, but
Yeah.
often I'll be, out on the trail and I'll just be walking up the hills and walking with some purpose and um, hiking and things like that. So I just feel like that sort of base strength is really important as well, particularly for, Bigs, the day course. I knew what the course was going to be like. Hadn't obviously ran it before, but I knew it was a pretty technical trail. So I wanted to try and simulate that as well.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Now I saw on Instagram that you had a bad reaction to a bee sting, like probably about a week before you flew out.
Oh man, that was bad. I was out running
Yeah.
and I suddenly got a bee sting on the back of my head. Oh man, just in like the cap at the back, just in the little hole. And I was like, oh man,
Right.
I wiped it off and then kept running. I was running back to my car. I had a few K left. And then all of a sudden, my feet got really itchy. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I got stung on the head. So I probably shouldn't have kept running. And I've never had a bad reaction before, but then I just started getting so itchy. And I got back in the car. I had hives all over me. I was driving back and I started getting a tight chest,
Wow.
like a tight throat. So I was like, no, I I have to ring the ambo here because I don't want to mess around with that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I just called the ambo and they gave me an antihistamine and luckily it went down and it was okay. But I thought, man, I just don't want to play around with it once I started getting a tight chest. So
yeah,
yeah,
for
that was an
sure.
and then I still had to get my double run done, so I ran back from the hospital back home. So
And did they say like that you might have died if you didn't call the ambulance or anything like that?
no, they didn't say anything cool like that.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, getting stung on the head doesn't sound very good because it's like right next to the brain.
Yeah, and it was just that thing of I started getting a tight chest, and I thought, I just don't want to play around with this and
Yeah,
push my luck here. So I just
yeah,
decided to call. So
yeah, for sure.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
And when did you fly out to America?
we flew out on the Monday of the a few days before. So
Yeah.
got there on flew out on Monday, and then I think we still got there on Monday just because of
Okay.
the time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like really Monday night, about 11 p.m. So we just stayed at a hotel right near the airport, and then picked up the car the next day.
Perfect. And
Yeah,
you have said this already, but just to make sure it's crystal clear, you went over there with your father, who was your sole crew person, right?
yeah. Went over with Dad,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, he solo crewed for me for almost the whole time. I had Tim Moffat, the legend, who just helped crew for me for a little bit, a few of those hours there at the end. But yeah, Dad crewed for probably 85 of those hours solo. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
massive shout out to him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm.
Now I saw that you had some pretty good support from businesses as well, like Oat Running and Mike's Beef Jerky.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. I got so Oat Running, they're a local company. They do like running hats. This one here,
Oh yeah, cool.
really
Nice.
nice. It's kind of like a fractal hat, but it just fits really nice. And
Yeah.
they do really nice socks as well. So they got behind me, gave me a bit of money and some
Hmm.
gear. And then Mike's Beef Jerky, they chucked in a decent amount of money as well. And they're a local SA company. And yeah, that was awesome just for them to get behind me and just to have that support was just really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I saw that Mike's Beef Jerky had a comp to see who could guess the closest number of yards you'd run. And I feel bad because I guessed 62.
Yeah, come on, what's going on?
I really
Some
wanted to win that Mike's Beef Jerky, and I thought, oh, 60.
Hey,
I thought 62 sounded pretty good, but you smashed it.
you had to chuck in something, realistic though, right? Like 63 is probably not a bad guess.
Yeah.
Um, pre race. A few people clearly didn't know how the event worked because someone guessed 198.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like,
Um,
oh man.
yeah. Um, so I saw some photos and videos of some of the neighborhoods other runners were staying leading into Bigs. I couldn't see anything from you. What was the neighborhood like you were staying in?
In terms of running, it's probably the worst place
Oh,
I've ever tried to run in, to be honest.
yeah.
There was just no um, we were staying just right off a main road. And then any of the side roads would have no footpaths. And they've just had these really steep drop offs off the side of the road. And there was no like trails or anything to run on. So yeah, it was actually really bad. It was really
Right.
bad. I had to go driving places to try and find somewhere to run. So
Yeah.
yeah, anyway.
So what type of like runs did you do in that week leading into the race?
So I did a couple of trail runs. Like we found some spots within 30 minutes. Did a couple of trail runs, and then I did do a run just around where we were staying, but it was just like, yeah, it definitely wasn't ideal. The other thing is like you're crossing the road and you're looking the wrong way because you're used to
Yeah.
used to Australian traffic and things like that, and suddenly you pull out in front of someone who's driving, and it
Oh,
was messy as.
yeah. Yeah. That
But
would,
yeah,
I know what you mean. And did you bump into any other runners at the shops or anything like that around town?
So we actually had a guy, I think he was from Portugal, staying at the same hotel as us.
Oh yeah.
And he looked like someone from the backyard kind of thing. He had a top on that said something about a backyard, and Dad and I tried to chat to him, but he didn't speak English.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we tried saying like, "Oh, we'll see you at the backyard," trying to make conversation, but yeah, he didn't understand a word.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway,
Did you bump
yeah,
into, do you remember seeing his face at Laz's place?
yeah. I then saw him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think he was. I forget his name. He was ranked. He was in the 60s coming into the event. Anyway, yeah, he was definitely there.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah, cool.
Hmm.
Now you obviously went to Laz's place on the Friday to get stuff organized.
Yeah, we got there just a bit after 10, organised everything, set up our marquee. And yeah, I mean, I was super lucky, but it's kind of unfortunate for the guy I was meant to be in the marquee with because his visa didn't work out. So he actually couldn't make it. Feel so sorry for the guy. He'd qualified for the event. And yeah, he just couldn't be there, unfortunately. Which, I mean, luckily for me, that I did get the marquee all to myself
Yeah, yeah.
from the
And
start. So.
was that the Pakistani bloke Jamal said that you were going to share with, or was it one of the others?
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Yeah, the
Mm.
poor bloke. Like he's obviously worked hard to be there. He's the national champ, and yeah, he couldn't make it. So hmm.
Yeah, and that's like the second time, like because he qualified 2 years ago as well, and it happened then too. So it's actually
Yeah,
happened two years in a row now.
yeah, that just sucks.
Yeah,
Poor bloke.
yeah. Now, I'm not sure if you've listened to it or not, but on the Jimmy B and White Kenyan podcast, they mentioned that you got a photo under the "There is no finish" arch, and Megan
Hmm.
Eckert took the photo, and but you didn't know it was her.
I haven't. I've downloaded their episode 4, but I haven't
Right,
listened to it yet.
right.
That was so awkward. I was there with Dad, and we wanted to get a photo together, and she had glasses on, and so I just didn't recognize. She was talking with Scott Snell, and I just had no idea. Hey, like I walked away from it, and then Jimmy was just like, "Oh, you realize that was Meg Eckert?" Oh gosh, that's so awkward. She was probably expecting us to want to get a photo with her as we were walking off. We just asked her to take a photo of us.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt so bad.
So they also said on the podcast that like you mentioned to them like you it sounded like you might have had a bit of like imposter syndrome, like you said like you didn't really feel like you were worthy of being there or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got all these guys that are just, they've hit PBs that are so much higher than what I've done. And I just really felt like I really wanted to prove that I deserved to be there. So I guess there was just that tension. But, I knew that I was in the right place to be able to push the numbers high. And yeah, it was just so cool to be able to run with all of them.
Yeah. And did you check out the course on the Friday?
No, not at all.
You were
No,
in
that's not my style. Hey, like I don't want to see
really?
it
Yeah.
yet. I'll see it enough anyway.
Yeah, 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 fair enough. And what about sleep? How did you go with like sleep in the week of the race and the night before the race?
So the week of wasn't great. We had about 20 hours of flying just to get, to America and plus the stopovers and stuff. So I'm not sure about the total time overall, but yeah, it was a bit tense just the week of the race, being in America for the first time, organizing, all the shopping and still having to pick up some gear like the layback chair and things like that. So there was definitely, I felt a lot of tension just in that week leading up, um, as you do anyway before a race. So I didn't sleep amazing. I had a few good nights. But yeah, it was definitely, being in an unfamiliar place as well. It wasn't ideal for sleep. And then the night before, where we were staying, there was a bunch of ladies that moved in that night and were just making such a loud,
Oh,
loud noise till about midnight. They were just sitting there laughing really loud and
oh,
like in the room next to us. And I was like, oh, dude. No way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely didn't have the ideal sleep, but it wasn't too bad either. I can't really complain.
Mm. So, I mean, a lot's been said about how hard the Big's day course is. I mean, what did you think about it when you ran on it for the first time on yard number one?
I actually really like the day course, which I know most people probably wouldn't agree with that, but I just found that it was engaging. Like it was mostly single track. You're kind of in the canopy of the trees. You got to think about your step. Um, it was just a really good variation from the road course, which was obviously faster, but it was very flat and boring.
Mm.
And you got a real sense of the distance on the night loop because you got this long straight, another long straight, and then another long straight. Then you turn around and do it all again.
Yeah.
So I actually really enjoyed the variation of the day course. Even though it was a bit slower, I just found that it was just a good change for me. So I was quite annoyed when we had to stay on the night loop for day two.
Yeah. Now, on the live stream, it is hard to get a perspective of how steep and how hilly the day course is. So, like, how would you describe how the hills on that day course?
I'd say that there was nothing crazy steep so much. It was more just the fact that it was either up or down, really. So there wasn't really any sections that were flat within that actual trail loop. So you're either going up or down,
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I just found that it was good for the legs just to change it up a bit. You're stepping over rocks, you're you know you're using your gait differently, and you're fairly engaged on the trail. You're going across bridges, you're rock hopping. It's fairly I think it's quite helpful actually if you want to go long,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think it's also, I mean, I love watching bigs and following bigs because of the change between the trail during the day and the road at night. It makes it more exciting. Like it gives you the viewers a lot more to think about and to talk
Mm.
about as well. It's like
Yeah, totally.
it's
And
the perfect race.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, it's like the live stream was pretty cool,
Mm.
and particularly I didn't get to see any of the live stream for the day loops, but just the cameras out on course as well. Like you could check how people were going during, and it just looked like it was really well set up for that live stream. Yeah.
Now, because you run on the road for on you run on the road first and then you run back and then you go onto the trail. Did you
Mm.
do you run purposely with a little bit more pace on that road just to bank some time because you know it's going to be slow going later on the trail?
Yeah, the first day I didn't do that, just because there was obviously like still 75 people in, and I was quite comfortable making the time on day one. But when we hopped back on, which would have been then the third day, I then was trying to get into the trail as one of the first runners, and then I just had that little bit of gap. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be stuck behind the Americans because a lot of them were coming in like 56, 57 minutes. So I was just making sure that I was up near the front when I then got into the trail. So yeah, I was trying to bank a bit of time on the road bit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, it sounds like not as many runners fell as they did 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago, you heard it sounded like everyone fell at least once. Yeah. Did you have any falls?
I had one fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I had one fall at one point.
Yeah.
But that was it. So I had a couple of close calls where you kind of clip your shoe and um, you know, nearly fall over and things like that. But I think the other thing about the day course was I was expecting it to be tougher just based off what everyone had said.
Yeah.
And that's probably because of 2 years ago it was tougher. But the trail was fairly well cleared. You could see where, the roots were and rocks and stuff like that. So I actually ended up just wearing autopilots on the day course as well. So and they were fine.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Like those shoes, it must be good because so many people wear them, and the people who wear them, they do so well.
I love the autopilots. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's just because Phil wears them. But, But no, they are so good. I would definitely recommend them. Hey, have you ever worn them?
No, no, I haven't yet. Like I should. I was thinking about buying some the other day, but I bought some Nimbus instead. But no, I will go back to them and give them another shot. I
Oh,
will.
so you've tried them before though.
I tried an earlier model of
Okay.
Taiwan. Yeah, I think the second version.
Oh yeah, the Goshawks maybe.
Before that, I forget
Oh,
what I forget what
oh
they're
okay.
called. Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
the second ever edition of the shoe, and I thought that they were good, but that version for me, like they were just a little bit unstable.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I might try the autopilots soon.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely recommend it.
Mm, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so you fell once. Did you see many falls? Like it wasn't carnage around you on the trails?
There was a bunch of times I did see people. I was behind Phil one time when he stacked it.
Oh,
I was behind Marin one time and helped him back up,
all right. Yeah.
stacked it. So I definitely saw enough carnage, but it sounds like it wasn't even as much as two
Yeah.
years ago. Definitely still some falls though this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, how did you go with like finding food to eat? Because I hear that the food over there is a bit different to the food in Australia.
Yeah, so the only food that I brought over was rice cream, just because I really like the brand that we have here. And then apart from that, like I'm not a fussy eater at all. Like I just grabbed, similar things in the supermarket. So obviously I had, like fruit and muesli bars and things like that. But yeah, I just bought these little snack pack little things, like these little almost like Milo kind of things. They were really good. And what else did I have? Chocolate milk tasted all right. Yeah, I'm not really a fussy eater to be honest.
What was that thing you said that you actually took over there with you?
Rice cream.
Rice cream.
Yeah, it's my
Oh,
favorite food for backyards.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is that like creamed rice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Really good stuff. Comes in like a little plastic cup thing, almost
Oh,
like
yeah.
the microwave rice things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
really good.
Perfect.
Really good. I definitely wanted to bring that. And then I just brought over like my sports drink,
Mm.
precision fuel and hydration stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. What about lollies? Did you buy lollies over there or?
Bought lollies over there. They didn't have much of a selection. I just bought like gummy bears and
Mm.
I forget what else they had. Um, just a few other things. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, what was it like on the Saturday morning, like the day of the race, as you were in the corral and the race is about to start and Lassie's giving his race briefing and you're looking around and seeing all the other runners? Like, what was that like?
Oh, it was just a pinch yourself moment, really. The fact that I was actually here in the States, standing in front of Laz, the legend. Got to meet him on the Friday, get a photo with him, and just to actually be standing there was just a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I really just wanted to pause and just really just soak it in because I knew that any moment we'd then be out on the lap and I'd sort of be in the zone. So
Mm.
just really wanted to pause and take it in and just be really appreciative of where I was and the opportunity that I had.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Now you mentioned your marquee. Did you choose where you wanted to go, or were you just happy to get take what you were given?
No, I chose the spot, spot 20, I think it was. So it was a good spot. It was kind of in terms of like where the corral is, it was sort of center of that.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of sheltered a bit by the house, just off
Yeah.
to the side a little bit. So it was a really good spot.
Mm.
I had a bit of shade from the house and then pretty close to the corral, which I mean everyone was, but yeah, I just found that it looked like a good spot on the map and was really happy with it on the day.
Yeah. And you were close to Jimmy B and the White Kenyan, yeah?
Yeah, right next to them. We
Yeah.
were neighbours, so their spot was actually moved a little bit from where it was on the map to then on the day. The only downside was there was a downpipe coming off the house that was like right next to their marquee,
Ooh.
and with all the rain,
Ooh.
we ended up like not me, but Dad and then like their crew ended up moving the marquees back about half a meter because
Right.
there was just there was just going to be so much water flowing out of that downpipe. So
Yeah, that would have been like a hose, just
yeah,
like spraying on their marquee.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um, yeah. Now, yeah, I like the position of the. If I was choosing to run at bigs, I would choose a marquee on that side of the starting line as well, because to me it looked like it would be annoying being one of those runners who has to squeeze into the marquee, like have to cross the finish line and like squeeze themselves in, and the other runners have to move back a few inches to let other runners in. Do you know what I mean?
oh, totally. Yeah, ours was in such a good spot where you didn't have to do that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Now,
really happy.
yeah. Now, as soon as Laz rang that bell and the race started, did it just feel like another race?
Yes and no. Like it just felt like okay, we're doing our thing again, another backyard ultra. But I think still just being there with all the Phil and Harvey and Sam Harvey, all those guys,
Yeah.
and still pinching yourself that you're actually at Big's backyard.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
actually out there. Like I think if anything, you just know that you're going to be able to hurt a bit more at that race because you're there. Laz's backyard, like I think you just feel the weight of it a little bit more, if anything.
yeah. Now,
Mm.
on your race report, and you actually mentioned this as well just before, but you wrote that on Instagram. You struggled early on when you found out that you had to stay running on the road for such a long time. So,
Mm.
was it the monotony of running on the road for so long that you struggled with, or were you more concerned with how your body would handle the pounding on the road for that amount of time?
I think it was, well, it was both really. It was, the course was, just got a bit sick of it, a little bit boring.
Mm,
I found the day course actually quite good. And then, yeah, it was just the pounding of the bitumen and there was no like siding to the road. So you couldn't like run on the grass or I remember at the Sat Chance, we would run, next to the path and just be running on the grass, whereas it
yeah,
didn't have any of that. So, yeah, it was just such a long time to be out on the road, 37 hours, nearly 250K.
yeah,
Um, and just, I guess, that things are changing in the moment and you got to be prepared for them. Like that kind of thing, like you're ready to go back on the day course and you can't. So it's just those things that are out of control, out of your control that you just have to accept and work through.
yeah, sure. So when you found out that you'd be running so many loops on the road in a row, do you remember if you made any like decisions about how you'd change your plan or how you'd pace yourself on all those road loops, especially on that second day when you would have thought you were going to be on the trail instead?
I didn't think anything specifically in terms of strategy. I just, um, it was just harder though, all the pounding for that long, and I was finding it quite hard. And it was just that yucky thing of I'm kind of locked in now. I'm locked into this race. I've got to keep going out there hour after hour, um, and I just don't want to drop early. Like I've got these sponsors that have jumped on board and helped me out getting there with gear and some money as well.
Mm,
I've got all these people following me online and watching the live stream and in a group chat that we had. So I just felt locked in. And it was just this real negative sort of energy of got to keep going back out there. I'm the only one that can do it. You know,
yeah,
like I remember just getting pretty down at one point, but realizing that I just had to stay in the lap and I just had to keep ticking him off and let the laps come to me as well. Not try to rush it. So
yeah,
um, yeah, I think one thing that was hard, which I didn't realize I was doing, was I was running such a similar pace for all the laps,
mm,
and my hips were just really aching because I was just sort of stuck in that same groove.
mm,
So there was a lap where I just kind of strided out a bit, thought, okay, I'll just try and run a little bit quicker, and straight away, like my legs just felt so much better. So I think that was the thing for me was just changing the pace during the laps, particularly in that 37-hour stretch. Let the legs land a bit differently, change the gait,
yeah,
and that really helped.
yeah. So you mentioned like negative energy, like did that running that faster loop turn that negative energy off or
Totally,
yeah,
straight away. It's
Yeah.
like, man, why are my hips hurting so much? I'm only 30 hours in or whatever it was. And then just strided out, felt great. Realized I'd just been stuck in this rut going slow, and I just needed to change my pace a bit, and straight away, instantly, just felt better.
Yeah. Awesome. Um,
Mm.
now it rained so much. I've I couldn't actually believe it. Like, have you run in a race with more rain than that before?
I remember, yes.
Yeah, which
I,
race is that?
I remember it was when we were doing the Hyson,
Right.
um, going for the FKT on the Hyson. There was a couple of days early on where it just absolutely bucketed. But yeah, in terms of a backyard, that was the most by far,
Yeah, for sure.
by far.
Yeah, look, I mean, in most races, so many people would stop in those conditions, but being bigs, I think hardly anyone dropped, if anyone dropped at all. So, I
Mm.
mean, how did you stay? I mean, you've already mentioned the changing the pace was good for you, but was it hard to stay positive during that wet period of the race where it just wouldn't stop raining?
In some ways, I liked it because I knew that everyone had to deal with it,
Mm.
and I felt like I was reasonably prepared. I'd had cold showers for 2 weeks before the event, which I felt like just built up a little bit of resilience there for the cold.
Oh,
Um,
did you do that on purpose?
on purpose just before the event. Yeah, just all cold showers. So it's
Yeah,
something I hate is the cold water.
yeah,
So just like walking into the shower and not trying to tense up and that kind of thing. I think that just really helped build some resilience leading into the event. So when it rained, I felt like I had a little bit of an edge in that sense. Like I knew that not everyone would have done that leading into the event. So but obviously, when it rains that much, it's going to affect you a little bit. And I was more just worried about, I was running out of pairs of socks
mm,
because I was changing them every hour,
yeah,
and your shoes were so soaked, and there was really nothing you could do about it. So just trying to get in with enough time to change your socks every hour, dry your feet, just really maintaining the body so you can push on once the rain stops.
yeah. So one of the benefits that people having two crew had is that they were able to take the wet stuff home, put them in the
Mm.
dryer, and then come back. So, um, did you have anyone do that for you, or did you just have enough pairs of socks that were dry, or how did you dry all your socks?
Uh, we didn't really dry them that well, to be honest. Dad had a little gas heater, so it was sort of hanging them over there in between laps, and I just had enough pairs to kind of get through. I would sometimes have to chuck on a pair that was slightly damp, which wasn't ideal, but
Hmm.
I had probably 8 pairs of socks, so and it probably rained for about 8 hours, so probably just had enough pairs to get through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So all your loop times while you were running that second day on the road, they were well under 50 minutes. So did
Mm.
you take advantage of that by like trying to get any extra sleep or anything like that?
I did. It didn't work very well. It's something I really need to work on is my sleep strategy, and actually asked Phil for a couple of tips, which was really helpful. So, um, yeah, I think the difficult thing is you're having caffeine, but then you're trying to sleep. So,
Mm.
yeah, I'm coming up with some strategies to work around that because I think that's something that really got me in the end was just really out of it and
Right.
just mentally just really just confused and that sort of thing. So I think that's something that will really help me in those, third and fourth nights.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, before Bigs, you'd gone over 50 twice,
Mm.
if my memory's correct. At Hurdies you did 51, Sat Chance you did 75. At either of those races, had you practiced or much sleep before?
It's not something I really practice. It's just something I kind of just hope happens on
Yeah, yeah,
on the day. Like you reach a point where you're tired enough that you will just sleep. But I think in future, really having like more of a strategy around because I have caffeine from night one. So potentially working with how I could do that differently and maybe having a bit more of a schedule for the night time because I kind of just run every lap how I feel I should do the lap at the time. So like, oh, okay, I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, I might run this one a little bit quicker, and so there's no real plan as such. It's more just in the moment. What am I doing this lap, kind of thing. So maybe having a bit more of a solid strategy. Yeah,
Yeah. So did you get any sleep between loops at Biggs?
I definitely did. It's really hard to know how much.
Yeah.
I had a couple of laps where Dad had to like tap me on the shoulder to wake me back up. So I probably had. So it's so hard to know. 1, 2 hours maybe. It's really
Okay.
hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so hard to know because sometimes you close your eyes, you feel pretty relaxed, but have you had any sleep? It's really hard to know.
Yeah. Um, so you mentioned race plan. Like, do you go into much detail with your race plan, or is it just do one loop at a time, like you said?
Other than like the nutrition, there's no real plan beyond that. So I don't know. I don't feel like I want to. I know that Phil plans all of his lap times before the race. I don't really know if I want to do that, but potentially having a bit more of a like sleep strategy, I
Yeah.
think could be quite handy, just for the night times.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Especially like when you're capable of running those fast loops. Like, I mean, you're a fast runner, so you can do that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to plan every loop in heaps of detail. I mean, it works for Phil, and that's awesome, and he's proven himself to be the best backyard ultra runner ever, which is
Mm.
amazing. I want to try and do something that works for me, but also just something that's just a little bit more planning. I think will be helpful.
Yeah, cool. Now, how did it feel when you eventually did go back onto the trail on Loop 49?
Ah, it felt so good. Oh man, it felt great. Like obviously there's um, a lot less time in between laps. I think I was coming in. I haven't looked, but probably like 53, 54 minutes.
Well,
Um,
I actually looked, and when you went back on the trail on day three, you were running your loops between 54 and 56 minutes.
oh, okay. Ah,
I'm pretty sure I read that right. Yeah.
okay. It Yeah, okay. And that was fairly comfortable for me. Like I what didn't feel like I was really um pushing that hard. So
Mm.
just the fact that the ground was softer, um, I could use my legs a little bit differently. Um, I feel like I'm pretty good at handling fatigue just based off the work I do and physical job and that kind of thing. So the day loop was definitely a very welcomed for me.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to ask, was it like for some runners, it's all about surviving the day so they can get back on the road at night, but it's not quite like that for you, is it?
Nah, for me, it's more like just enjoying the day loop, coming in with enough time to do what I need, 54 to 56 minutes. I was averaging about 5 minutes per loop. And that was just enough for me to do what I had to do and just keep ticking it over. I don't get that stressed. Like if I come in 55 minutes, that's fine. I'm
Yeah,
just going to rock up again in the corral and just do it all again. So, and I know that I can bank time if I have to on the night.
for sure. And especially like at Bigs coming in at 55 minutes, that's not even slow because there's heaps of runners coming in at like 57, 58 and even 59.
Unbelievable. You sit down, you've come in 55, and then 2 minutes later, you get like five people coming through.
Yeah,
It's pretty crazy to witness.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there were so many changes to this race. There was the hot weather on day one, the
Mm,
rain on the first night, then the road on day two. Then there was a really cold night on night two,
mm.
and then after all that, back to the trail on day three. So I mean, I mean, it wasn't what you expected. So like, how did you like manage that mentally? You just went with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, you kind of got to expect the unexpected in some ways. Like, just be prepared for. through all sorts of weather conditions. So, yeah, it was like that first night before it rained, it was fairly hot as well. So that was kind of hard because you'd come in and you're still kind of sticky from the day, fairly humid. And then I think, yeah, very cliche, but you just have to take it one lap at a time and try and stay in the moment as well. And I think just looking around and remembering that you're at Bigs and such a cool opportunity really is something to think about as well when it sucks.
Yeah. Now, I mean, when I was watching the live stream and I saw you were like you surpassed 62 when you were still looking so strong. I mean, I thought, wow, Dan Carmack is looking awesome. Well, when did you like look around and saw that and start thinking to yourself, gee, I'm doing all right here?
I think it was when it was just Phil and I left for the Australians.
Yeah.
And I came in with the goal of not being the first Aussie to drop. I really wanted to be able to do that. And obviously, the other guys are really great backyard ultra runners. Nothing, taking nothing away from that. But yeah, I really wanted to prove that I deserved to be there and not be the first Aussie to drop. So it was just a really, really cool moment when it was just Phil and I left for the Aussies, and I thought, wow, this is unreal. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm here still, um, feeling good. I obviously saw, but like feeling really good, and man, this is just amazing. So I think that's when it really, really hit me. Probably what was that like lap 78, something like that.
Right, yeah. Because how like I was my next question was when you broke your previous PB of 76, like how were you feeling physically and mentally at that time when you were in new PB territory?
Yeah, I was feeling good. Yeah, I was just I think it was about 4 hours into that day course again. I knew that I could ring the bell, and then I knew I wasn't too far off 80. And yeah, I was confident that I could make it through that day again, even if it was fairly slow, and then just be back out onto that night course. So
Mm.
I wasn't thinking too far ahead, but I was feeling good overall.
Yeah, yeah. So when you were in the 80s and even 90s, were you ticking the loops off one at a time, or was there a stage when you were starting to think about you were getting close to the 100-yard mark?
Yeah, it was when we then because we went back on the road at like I'm trying to remember 86 or something. We went
Yeah,
back out on the road, something like that. And
yeah,
so I was then thinking, okay, I've got to try and I've got to try and make 100 here. I think I can do it. So, but the
yeah,
thing is, I was looking a bit too far ahead. I think because
yeah,
we still had 13 hours of the night and then 4 of the day. So
yeah,
it's still 17 hours, which is a long time to be projecting ahead. So I think that's one of the mistakes I made potentially. But yeah, definitely had my sights set on the 100.
yeah. Cool. And did you have your sights set on the 100 before the race even started, or was this a surprise to you that you were in this? You were in the 90s, like.
It was definitely a surprise. Um, and I didn't go in like this was the first backyard where I really have gone in with no goal. Phil's often said, don't go in with a goal, just, go as long as you can. And that's something that I really tried to do this race. So didn't have any specific goal in mind, but when you're in the 90s at bigs, you're still like, wow, I can't believe I'm here. And then you are thinking, oh man, maybe I could break 100 today and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So yeah, lots of different kind of things going on at once.
Yeah. Some runners like take their phone out with them and check messages and things like that while they're out there on during the race. Were you checking your phone and getting messages, or did you have your phone turned off and you weren't looking at that?
No, I was checking my phone fairly often.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to feel like it was a normal day,
Yeah.
out there, on a training run. Oh yeah, checking my messages. I think I was playing Word Feud for a couple of hours.
Right.
Just wanted it to feel like it was a normal day. So yeah, I did have my phone out there.
Yeah, cool. What's word feud?
Oh, it's kind of like Scrabble.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Awesome.
That was
And
obviously a little bit earlier on in the race. That wasn't.
um, so who were some runners that you spent some time with out there?
Bagman.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was great running with him for a little while,
Yeah.
having some good chats. Finally got to meet him because
Mm,
I'd seen him on the live stream and that kind of thing. So
yeah.
I ran a couple of laps with Evo, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Got to meet him and have some chats with him. Ran a little bit with Marin,
Hmm.
which was awesome. Ran a couple of laps with Sarah.
Oh, yep.
That was pretty cool. Um, ran laps with a lot of people, to be honest. That's something that I really wanted to do was I don't know, because sometimes when I jump in a backyard, I kind of feel like everyone else is the enemy, and
Right.
it's like
Yeah.
it's me versus them, and all
Yeah.
this sort of stuff, and it's this sort of negative mindset. So I really wanted to make a lot of friends and be out there and chat with people and encourage people and really just soak it in and be social was really a goal for me as well during the event. So I got to meet so many great people and have heaps of chats, and I think that just made the event um, more memorable, but also easier to push through.
Yeah. And is that something that you'll take into your next race, that kind of social
Mm.
vibe?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it helped as well. Like there was a guy who was struggling a little bit and offered to run with him. And that actually, from his point of view, I'm maybe sacrificing my race, but I actually found that it was good just to get out of my own head for a little bit and
Mm.
kind of focus on someone else and help them through. So yeah, I think that's actually something I'd like to do in the future. I think it helps as well.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mm.
Now we talked earlier about how your dad was there as your only crew person. So, like, how did he manage going for 93 hours?
Yeah, it was look, it was tough for both of us.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it, to be honest. He was getting pretty tired at the end, and there was a couple of laps where I had to tap him on the shoulder and sort of say, "Oh, I'm back in now," that kind of thing. But man, I'm so grateful for his support, and yeah, look, we're both learning, and I think if anything, it's just going to be a really good lead into Sat Champs where we can have multiple crew on, and we're not having to travel internationally. So yeah, it's a really good practice for that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now, you finished with 93 yards. When did
Mm.
you realize that 93 would be your last?
On the 94th.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I I was just so out of it. Like I thought I was in a dream at one point, and I had to ask Oriel like what we were doing
Right.
because I didn't really understand what was going on, and I was just getting really loopy. I sat out on the road for a little while and looked up at the stars, like laid down on the road, and my mind was just really really faltering. So yeah, the 94th one, I went out. I was going down the hill. I was just completely out of it, and eventually I just turned around and walked back in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's how a lot of people end at bigs. Like it just reaches. Remember, Rob, it sounds like that's similar to how Rob Parsons ended his race ended a couple of years ago. He just went out on the road and then turned back.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So physically, how did you pull up?
I was pretty sore. Like a legs had, my right knee had swelled up really badly actually during the race. Yeah, blown up like a fair bit. So, but my whole legs were all swollen and purple, and yeah, it was pretty bad. But you know what? I felt like I'd given it the most of any backyard, and I felt
Right.
like I really pushed, you know, my limit in that backyard, which was awesome. I feel like in other backyards, I've had definitely had more to give. So, really proud of myself for really just pushing the limits of what I can achieve in that race. So,
Oh yeah, mate, you did so well. Everyone was getting so excited at home watching that live. Man,
yeah.
like man, I was just thinking to myself, I would love to be Dan. I wish I was Dan Carr. That's what I was thinking.
Oh gosh.
Um, so because you found out a bit late notice that you'd be running at Bigs, your training for it was a little bit different to what it would have been otherwise. But because you ran so well, do you think that maybe you'll train that way for future backyards?
I don't think it was that different than what I would normally do.
Okay.
I normally start off with like, say, I'd have maybe like a 3 month block, and I'd start off that first month just a bit more speed work, and then lengthening out kind of that quality sort of speed work, and then the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks sort of specifically train for the backyard. So it's kind of what happened anyway leading into big. So I wouldn't really change much. It wasn't very different from what I'd normally do anyway,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, did you stick around at Laz's place till the end of the race?
No, we just hung out for like another sort of 3, 4 hours. Chatted with Jono and Tim and Gemma and Caroline for a bit, and got my coin from Laz, and yeah, just hung out there for a few hours, and then we headed off after that. So it was cool to see the guys coming in on the day loop for a few hours. And
Hmm.
the thing is, you don't know when it's going to finish, so we ended up just going off after that.
Yeah, it looked like there was a pretty epic amount of people around that fire that night.
Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty cool vibe there.
Yeah,
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 it was great that they had that set up
yeah,
right in the trial.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Did you
yeah,
fall asleep on that chair next to the fire, or
yeah, I did.
yeah,
Yeah,
not surprised.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so you ran 93 yards, and that puts you 11th in the world. So,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, you've more than proven yourself to be one of the very best now. So, how does this performance change the direction that you want to take your running over the next like few years?
I don't think it really changes it much, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to do the races that I feel like doing, and um, yeah, I still want to do 5K to multi-day.
Yeah,
So, um, I think it just, if anything, it just makes me more excited for the SAT champs.
yeah,
I'd really love to hit the 100 club.
yeah,
And I just feel like it's given me that confidence to really do that. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. But yeah, I don't think it really changes much in terms of the next few years. I think I'm just really happy with the performance, and just so happy that I actually took the opportunity up. I could have just said no, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so happy that I said yes.
Um, so the Australian team, the Red Backyarders, um, they're gonna be a good team. I mean, they were good last time, but they're going to be even better this time.
Yeah, it's going to be so cool. Hey, like you got Phil, who's obviously the best in the world. You got Jonathan, who's hit 100.
Yeah,
And then, I'd really love to hit 100. There's a bunch of guys there. Ryan's at 95 or 96. And, you can see a bunch of us getting above 100 at the next world champ. So,
yeah,
I feel like, with the right team, we could definitely take it up to the Belgians.
yeah,
They've obviously got such a solid lineup, but we're definitely improving quickly as well. So, be
yeah,
super interesting to see how we go.
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's so many runners who are trying to make that team, so it's going to be a
Mm.
really, really exciting team.
Yeah.
Um, so based on previous history, like that 93 yards will easily get you into the next individual world champion in 2 years' time. I mean, you might even have a higher qualifying total than 93. But like, have you thought about that? Like, do you want to go back to Bigs in 2 years' time?
Well, like the other podcast, I'm going to say no. But yeah, if I still am in the lineup, it would be tempting to go. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it would be hard to say no. But I think I'd like to try maybe some other formats as well, especially if I am in the SAT Champs again next year. I feel like I've done a fair few backyards, and it'd be cool to try something different. Maybe a 6 day race, or
mm,
we've got a 6 day race in October in Adelaide. So
mm,
potentially that. I don't know. It's really hard. It's really hard because I want to do everything, but
yeah,
that's kind of difficult. So
yeah.
yeah.
What about like, I mean, there's there is some speculation that the world champs might actually not be at Laz's place next time. They might be in another country. So,
Hmm.
would you be more likely to do it if they were somewhere in Europe, for example, or would you prefer it to stay at Laz's?
If they did end up having it somewhere different, I would be more likely
Mm.
to go in it again, just because it's different location, different kind of a whole different race feel, I guess. If you're in Europe as well and traveling somewhere different, so yeah, I would be more keen if it was somewhere different.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Now, it sounds like as far as backyard ultras go, your next one is the Sat Champs. But what else is on your calendar?
So yeah, I'm thinking of doing a 12-hour race, like a local one. Pretty small event. It started last year. Probably 20 people in it last year. Just a nice local event. So I think I'd like to go in that again. Last year I did it. Sorry, this year. I did it with a friend. It was like a
Oh yeah,
team one, like a relay 12-hour one. But I'd like to do it as a
yeah,
solo person. So that'd be kind of cool. I'm thinking of training for the Gold Coast Marathon next year with a friend. So that'd
awesome.
be cool as well. I'd love to get in another marathon. Would love to break 2:30.
Yeah,
Um, ran 2:34 at Melbourne that year when I saw you. So would
yeah,
really love to break the 2:30 barrier.
yeah.
And then other than that, I've got a backyard Everest um, event in Adelaide. So it's capped at 24 hours. It's kind of like a backyard ultra style, but it's only 5.2 Ks. And you climb Everest in 24 hours. So that sounds pretty cool. That's in September, about
Awesome.
6 weeks before Sat Champs. So that's kind of the events that
Yeah,
I haven't locked any of them in other than Sat Champs, but yeah, the other three sound pretty cool.
yeah. I know you've done a 6 hour timed ultra. I know you've done a 24 hour. Have you done a 12 hour before, like as an
No,
individual?
no, never done it. So I've done one 24 hour and two 6 hours. So be
Yeah,
cool to. I think that middle ground would be a really interesting timed sort of distance.
yeah, cool. Is it?
Yeah,
Do you know if it's around a track or is it like around a course?
just around the course. Like it's a little bit over 5K.
Oh, nice.
This course. It's probably not the quickest course, but it's quite scenic and it'd just be fun to have a hit out over 12 hours and
Mm.
just see what I can do there. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Um,
Hmm.
Now, it wasn't all that long you were on last, and I got your three backyard ultra tips. Um, but do you have three more?
I do have three more. I've got them here. Don't worry, I'm prepared. So my three tips, I've got two that are quite specific to the backyard, and then just more of a mindset sort of one. So the first one is just changing your pace during the laps. So yeah, I felt like my hips were so sore in the 30s, and then yeah, just running my laps quicker just made my legs feel heaps fresher.
Mm.
Just changing my gait, using my legs a little bit differently, especially over the night loop when it's very monotonous, very, very flat and bitumen. So changing the pace during the laps, I have found has just really helped keep my legs fresh.
Yeah,
So that's tip number one. Cold showers. That's sort of like the mindset sort of one. You can apply this to any ultra, but I just found that, you know, cold showers in the lead up the 2 weeks before the race just really helped build some mental resilience there. And I found that I'd step in and I'd be thinking, gosh, what am I doing in this cold water? And then within about 30 seconds, it was fine.
right.
So I think that's just a really, really cool lesson you can take from backyards where early on you're going to be thinking, oh gosh. And if you can just stay there for a little while longer, sometimes it can get better. So
Mm.
that was really helpful for me leading into bigs. And yeah, you don't have to do that, but I've just found that really helpful.
Nice.
And then the last one's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah,
I haven't ever heard anyone do this before, but I've started doing this and it's helped me personally. And you do what you want. If it, you know, it's probably not going to work for everyone, and that's okay. But I've started just going really simple on my watch. All I have on there is time of day.
okay.
So I don't have distance, don't have average pace, nothing like that. Um, I I've just found that it helps me kind of just stay in the moment. okay,
Mhm.
it's 10:30. I'm at the turnaround in 27 minutes at 10:27. I feel like you have a really good sense of the pace during the lap anyway. You've run it, for 2 days on end or whatever, and you just get to know the course. Even the day loop, there was this bridge where I'd cross at 26 minutes. Maybe some loops I'm crossing it at 25. So like I know I'm going a little bit quicker. So
Mm.
I've just found that really good. All I've got on my watch is time of day, and I find that just helps me stay in the moment. So
Yeah, awesome. And is Bigs the first time you've done that? Or
no, so I did that at Sat Champs as well.
as well? Okay.
Yeah,
And
I've just found it really good because other ones, like you look down at your watch, it says you've done 300 Ks and you're like, oh gosh. Like I don't want to see that, and I
yeah,
don't want to see like the average pace dropping if I start walking and things like that, which obviously Phil's got all that stuff and that works for him, and he's clearly the GOAT, and
mm.
that's great. But yeah, just for me, I've found that time of day works really well. So
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, because I mean,
if you need
backyard ultras they always start on the hour. So really, if all you really need to know is the time and to so you know like, and as long as you know that you're going to get back in time, that's really all you need.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it helped as well with Biggs because there was the Harvey bus, so
Right.
you
Yeah.
knew you knew 55 as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'd recommend giving that a go potentially if you feel like it's not working with your watch and maybe there's too much data there. I definitely recommend giving it a go for people, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but
Mm.
it's worked for me. So
Yeah. Did you jump on the Harvey bus at Biggs?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to jump on at one point. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
And was it
And
like, were you also like taking it in turns to lead?
yeah, sometimes we're in like single file and you'd run along and then but we're all pretty tired at that point and it was sort of hard to understand
Right.
what
Yeah.
was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. And something about that as well was you realize just how slow you could actually go.
Mhm.
Because a lot of the night loops, you're coming in under 50, but you can go quite slow and you're still coming in 55, particularly on the night course. So that was really cool. And Harvey's such a legend, like just getting around people and making it fun and
Yeah.
just helping people get through. So I'd heard all about the Harvey bus, and then I finally got to jump on board. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you started running again yet?
Yeah, I did park run over in the US actually, like the
Oh,
Saturday afterwards,
cool.
which ended up being a bit more of a run walk. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did park run again on Saturday, and then yeah, I'll go out for maybe a yard today. So
Yeah.
slowly getting back into it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I pretty much had like 10 days off after the race though, which was good. I felt like I really needed it.
Oh, yeah. You deserved it. Like after 93 yards.
Well, there's this old school theory where you have one day off for every mile after a marathon. So
Yeah.
that's over a year. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now you've mentioned park run a few times. Like some people count how many park runs they've done. How many have you done?
uh, 230 something.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
there every week getting
Yeah.
it done. So
Yeah.
getting close to the green shirt. So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah, it's good. I really really love being there and volunteering. And we've got a pacing event on
Mm.
the first Saturday of every month, which is really cool. So yeah, it's just awesome, helping people get their times and just being a part of that community. So
Mm. Yeah.
hmm.
Cool. Yeah, well, look, congratulations on such an awesome performance at Bigs. Like that was so exciting and so fun to watch how well you did. Like I wished I was you. I still do. I wish I was Dan Carmack.
You don't. But thank you. No, I appreciate that. And thanks for having me on the podcast. It's cool to come and chat about it. And it's just unreal to be there and to have the race of my life. And I'm just so grateful for all the support I've had,
Mm.
from people watching and messages and stuff like that. Yeah, I've just got the best life, to be honest. I get to have all these cool adventures and
Oh yeah.
meet heaps of great people. So thanks again.
Oh, no worries. And I've got no doubt that you've got 100 and beyond in you in the backyard ultra space as well. So
Yes.
yeah, I can't wait for the set champs to see it all go down.
Yeah. Are you going to be there?
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't think I'm going to make the team,
You never
but
know.
I might be doing the live stream. Um, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, hopefully I'll be there doing the live stream.
Well, hopefully you'll be there in the team.
Yeah, well, that would be good. That would be good. Yeah, look, I'd have to figure out if I'm going to do any more silver ticket races or find a race that's going to go long enough. Because you're going to need over 60 to get into the team, I think. So
Are you going to do the Melbourne one?
I'm going to be there crewing for someone. I'm going to be there crewing
Uh,
for farms. So I really
you're going
like
to do
it. Hey,
you're going to do the Adelaide one?
no, but I am going to do the Two Rivers, which is in a
Oh, yeah.
tutor. It's unlikely that that one will go like into the 60s, but
Because I was just going to say because Jonathan Ash is coming over for no time.
oh, is he?
He's coming over for no time. Yeah.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a scoop.
Got a yeah. Was I meant to say that? I don't know. So, and it's a flat course,
Yeah.
So, and if you wanted a bit of help crewing,
Mm.
be happy to crew for you. So,
Yeah, cool. Thanks,
if
man.
just throwing it out there. We'd
Yeah.
love to see. We'd love to see you on the team. That's all.
I know it does sound like there's going to be a lot of good. I know Joel, rock and roll Joel Sex Bomb Sexton is going to be there too.
Nice. That's good. He's done so well there before. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can definitely see him pushing into the team there. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Do you know if Johan will be running or you're not too sure?
I don't know. I haven't. He's still in Queensland at the moment.
Hmm.
Living up there. So haven't heard anything. Oh no, he definitely won't be there actually because he's going for the Heisen record.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, with Aaron,
Yeah.
like around that time.
Yeah.
He should be basically finished the Heisen um, when that starts. So yeah, he definitely won't be there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mm.
All right. Well, look. Thanks for coming on again. Congratulations on such an awesome performance, and yeah, we'll definitely be in touch.
Sounds great, Pato. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
No
It's been
worries.